I was big into Texas Hold'em as a teenager. And for those who don't know what Texas Hold'em is, it's a variation of poker in which you get dealt, everybody gets dealt 2 cards. And then with those 2 cards, there will be 5 cards total eventually laid out onto the board. And you can make the best 5 card combination, i.e. your hand, with the 2 cards you have and 3 out of the 5 cards on the board. And so the way that the game goes is everybody gets dealt 2 cards, a round of betting ensues. Once the round of betting is over, the dealer will, it's called burning, burn 3 cards face down and then turn 3 cards face up. I believe that's called the flop. Round of betting ensues. Once it's over, dealer burns and turns. I believe the 4th card is called the the turn. Round of betting ensues, and then once that round is over, the dealer burns 1 final card, turns 1 final card over. That's called the river. And then round of betting, and then everybody turns over what they have to see who won the hand. And so what would happen is we would play this game with an old friend of mine, probably my oldest friend. And what he would do, I thought, was just the strangest thing. He would look in the burn pile for the cards that would have helped him out. But I always thought that completely erroneous, because I remember saying it to him. I would say, you're just looking for disappointment. Because those cards, yeah, your card that you need might be in there, but it doesn't matter because it never would have come into play anyways, because it's in the burn pile. But yet you're sniffing around in something that doesn't even need to be sniffed, looking for disappointment, as I said, as an 8th grader to him. I was so perplexed. Is like, why would you do that? You're just looking for disappointment. And that was analogous to his life, although I didn't realize it until several years later when we were in our early 30s. And I eventually just had to, for lack of a better word, burn this individual from my life. Doesn't mean I don't love him, doesn't mean I don't pray for him every day, but that was analogous to his life, is he would go looking for things to disappoint him, to get him upset, to get him absolutely enraged. And that's a lot of people's default, and they don't even know it. They go looking for things just to affirm the anxiety, the depression, the remorse, the anger, the frustration, the judgment. And so that begs the question, do you go looking for things where you don't need to? Are you just looking for disappointment in the burn piles, if you will, in your life? It never would have happened anyways, certain things in these burn piles that we have. I'm trying to think of a good example of a burn pile. But I'm sure you're drawing conclusions in your mind's eye as I'm talking through it. I know that I certainly would be, but I'm trying to focus on delivering the message rather than helping myself in this matter. So I guess the moral of the story is, you got dealt a hand. Play it the best you possibly can. Period. Leave the burn pile where it is. It's burned. It's burned. It's on fire. Why go in there? You're going to get burned if you go into a burn pile. Don't go looking for disappointment. Don't stick your nose where it shouldn't go. That is such a wonderful and sobering analogy of self-sabotage. It's almost disheartening. It's pure metaphorical gold. How many people will just sniff around in the burn piles of their lives just to look for disappointment? You've been dealt a hand. Play it the best you can, because to do anything else is self-sabotage.